Okay.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I'm here with a really good friend of mine, Duraes. I hope I said that right. I hope I didn't butcher your name.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. And she is an amazing person. She's a voice actress. She's done voices for Jackie Briggs in Mortal Kombat, Sage in Valorant, which is a great game, and my favorite game and my very favorite character, Katarina Alves. So I'm really grateful for you to be here. Thank you for joining us. So
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
yeah, no problem. Okay, so just tell us a bit about yourself before we get into everything. Like, where were you born and stuff like that?
There is going to be probably a few words that's weird to say in English, but okay. I was born in Nova Chavantina, in Mato Grosso. It's a state here in Brazil. It's a really small city with like Indians and all. And I was born in there, and I've been acting my whole life. I started in theater, doing some drama plays and all with 10 years old. I'm 33 years old right now. And I started in this small city and then went to college. I studied drama as well. And then I started to voice act while I was in college. And it was when everything started and it happened to me. I fell in love with this. It's just simply amazing for me. And that's it. I started to voice act with 21 and never stopped since then. And the first game character I voiced, I think it was like, I started in 2008. I think it was 2013. And that's it.
Okay. Well, that's really great. I also wanted to ask you, have you ever thought about voice acting in an anime or anything like that? Because, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to do that more. I did some animes, but I don't think that there's a plural, right? I think it's anime.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine.
I did some anime, but like I can count, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, and small characters here in Brazil in Portuguese. The biggest one wasn't even big. It was Yukina in the Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. Cabernet of the Iron Fortress. I can't remember.
Cabernet, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know how to pronounce that. Because Netflix got an OVA, a movie, and cut it to stream here in Brazil, like in 3 episodes. And I was a part of that. It was the biggest one, and it was just a few lines. I would love to do that more because I love Japanese culture, anime, mangas.
Same.
I love that.
Yes, me too.
Yes, it would, and it's so difficult to do it, to voice act it, because the Japanese language is so different from ours, and the mouth is always so huge and so
how they enunciate their syllables and stuff is different. Yeah.
Yes, it's really difficult. I think that when a voice actor do that, like for
A different language, probably, or a different character.
When they do that very often, I think it gets easier. But for me, since I didn't made a lot, it's so difficult for me. I watch what they doing here, and I'm like, oh my god, that's quite impossible.
That's good. I mean, like, at least now it's great to hear some backstory on what it's like to voice act, because I actually thought about voice acting myself too. I sing.
Nice.
Yeah, like I sing, and I thought about doing voice acting, but I never really pursued it because I didn't really know. It was like this vague thing I didn't really know much about. So maybe I'll do it down the line, you know. So thank you for, yeah, go ahead.
And that's interesting because I started to voice act without knowing how was it done. It was kind of by accident. I don't know how to say it in English. I was in college and I liked it. I watched movies, dubbed versions of movies and anime and cartoons and everything. It was also always like, okay, this is cool. I don't know how is it done, so it's cool.
Yeah.
And then one day, a friend of mine, she was in drama college too, and she was like, okay, there's a dubbing studio starting here, and they need actors. And I was like, oh my god, it's going
That
to
sounds
be
good for you.
interesting.
Right.
Yeah. And then I started it, and I was like, I had no idea what to do, and I googled it, but 2008 we didn't have anything on Google yet.
Yeah.
And we didn't have much infos about it, but today we can find a lot of things. I don't know in other countries, but at least here in Brazil we are starting to talk about to talk more about it, to explain more about it. Even on stream, I like to always talk about this, and people are starting to come to me and saying, oh my god, now I know how to do it and what to do it, so I want to do it like you did. And this is interesting because we're starting to have the information and spread it out.
Have all the tools necessary available for people to actually flourish. So I get it. Yeah, that's really great. Like I said, voice acting, you probably just, from what it sounds like, you kind of fell into it, but you love it. So that's really, really good.
Yeah, it was love at first recording.
I know, because when I heard your voice for Katarina, I was like, this sounds like very authentic. This sounds really good. Like you did a really good job, and I already liked the character, but I think what made me stick with the character the most is the fact that it's the passion behind the voice lines when she's like saying stuff, and you did a really good job. Now I haven't played Valorant. I've tried to play Valorant, but I have a potato PC, so I have to wait. But yeah, it's not that good. But once I play Valorant, I'll see how Sage is. But tell us a little bit more about what it was like to voice act Sage for Valorant.
Oh my God, Sage was just a gift that I got. I love the Chinese culture. I love Oriental culture. I study Kung Fu. I have a black belt in Kung Fu, and I went to China in 2019. And when I came back a few months later, they called me for the auditions, and I was like, okay. They didn't explain much about the character. Actually, they didn't say much. They only said it was going to be a game for a good company. But I saw the Riot logo on the PC because this studio, they do a lot of stuff, not only for Riot. But I saw the logo and I started to get, okay, it could be LOL, League of Legends. It could be Runeterra. I don't know how to say this in English. It's another game, a card game from LOL.
Yeah.
And art, it could be a new game, and I don't know anything about it. So I got excited. They didn't explain about the character, but once I read the lines, I saw the I am both sword and shield, and it was like, okay, this is a support character. I always play support in games.
Me too. I never go to like the tanks or anything like that. I always go to healers, anything like that. Yeah,
I love
we
that.
We kind of have power when we do it. We get to control what happens and save people's lives, so it's nice.
Yes, and it was like when I started playing, like when I was little, girls weren't supposed to play like fighting games and all and FPS, because we were girls. We were meant to do the right things and to smile and to be cute and all. So every time when I got to these LAN houses to play and all, boys were like, oh no, you're going to play support. Like, and I was like, okay. And I got fond of it. I started liking it. And so I always played support. In some games like Paladins, I started playing like tank, because sometimes I didn't have the options to play the support in there, but usually I'm a support. And then when I read the lines, it was good for me that because I knew what to do. I didn't know the game. I didn't know the character because they didn't explain because of how did this, the NDI and everything.
Oh,
I don't know the words.
Non-disclosure agreement.
Yes, the secrecy and all. And so they didn't explain much, but that line, that I'm both sword and shield, I was like, okay, support. And started to create the character on my mind. And I did it all. And when I got the character, I went to do a job in there, this studio, and they only said it's a game session. And I was like, okay, it could be Mortal Kombat because it's the same studio that I record Jackie. And when I got there and they told me, okay, it's the new character, she's called Sage, she's from China, and I was like, oh my God, I love that.
Just a character just for you.
Yes, and she was a support, and they told me like there were 3 girls, voice actors, auditioning for this character, but they didn't have a chance. Like it was perfect for you, and I was like, oh my God,
that's really good.
And it was so exciting to record it. Because of the character, the game, and I was like, I don't like to play LOL a lot. It's not my type of game. I like the game, but I like to play more agitated games. I should say, because I think LOL it's kind of slow.
Yeah, I get that too. I feel the same way. Valorant is more fast paced.
Yes. And I was like, oh my God, it's a game, it's a free game, and I'm going to play with myself. This is good. Yeah, I'm going to be able to do that. And the director they got, it's a director that I always wanted to play in here, to work with him. He's amazing. He knew exactly what to do and how to ask me to do this stuff. It was incredible. It was just incredible. And after that, to be able to get to the community and to be embraced by this community, it was just an honor, and it's been amazing.
Yes, Valorant has really blown up, so you really are like on a grind. Like you've definitely dedicated so much time to really perfecting these characters that you've been voicing, and it shows in your craft. Whenever you play a character, like whenever you voice a character, you can see how much like effort you put into it, and it is good. It's great actually. Now you also voiced Jackie Briggs in Mortal Kombat. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I don't even know how that came about. I was shocked to hear, because I thought, maybe I thought it was an FGC thing where he's like, you can only voice act for one fighting game. You can't do another fighting, But go ahead and tell us.
And it's interesting because I did Jackie before I did Katarina, and in the same studio.
Oh wow, that's cool.
It was a few months before Katarina. I don't actually remember when. In 2014, in there. I did it. They called me. I was working a lot with this studio, but with small characters, like a cop in the Batman Arkham Knight, then a girl in the, I don't know, small characters that they didn't even have a name, had a name. And then one day they called me. I can't remember if there was an audition for that. I don't remember that. I think we did an audition for it, because at this studio they usually send samples to the clients, voice samples, and they can choose already, or they can ask for audition. I don't think they asked it, but I got in the studio, and we only know what are we going to do when you get in the studio. They don't tell us before. And I got in there, and they were like, okay, do you know Mortal Kombat? And I was like, oh my God.
It was like a surprise because you didn't even know what you were getting into until you got there. So it was just a great
Yes.
surprise. Yeah.
It was so exciting because I played a lot of Mortal Kombat when I was a child. I didn't have a console and video games, but I played with my cousins and my brother and on LAN houses and all, and I loved it. And especially, I really liked Jax. So to know that I was going to make the voice of his daughter. I was like super excited, super excited. And Jackie she's so powerful, and this at the same she's really confident, confident, yes, confident, and but also she's super she wants the approval of her family. She wants more about her family, and she's super into family. She's all this power, but also
very family oriented. Yeah.
Yes, and this is so good for me because I am like super like that. I'm really into my family and put them on the first ground, and this is that was special for me. In the MK10X, we didn't have much info about that, but at the 11, it was more about her story. Like she was super in I don't know how to say this. Oh my god. In first place. I don't know how to say it.
It's okay. I'm pretty sure we'll understand. It's fine.
And we got to know more about her story and the difference between the Mortal Kombat and Katarina then it's because I had a guide, an English guide to know more about. Katarina had to create it all by myself, but we can construct it with what we have of infos and also what we have of on this line guide, and it was super special for me because of that, because I played the game before and I liked the story and the characters already, and that was it.
That's great. Like, actually I was about to say what you brought up when you have to create a character. I looked into acting before as well. Actors do that. You get a script. Sometimes when you go to an audition, you have a script, and you're only given so much, but you have to kind of create the backstory for the character yourself to really emote how the character is and all that stuff until you get a fully fleshed out character with their own agenda and backstory and stuff like that. So they really come to life. It sounds like the same thing, except it's just voice acting, which makes sense. But
yes. Yeah. I like to say that actors have to study a lot to create like shelves with boxes on their minds. Like I'm going to do a princess. Okay, princess. She's also a fighter. Okay, princess but fighter. And she has a sword. Okay. And so we're starting to create this thing on your mind and to start to get to know the character, to know the voice. You're going to do that. And also not to do a cliche, but I like to think on these boxes and shelves.
Yes, no, it's really creative too, because it's just you're basically building a character, building a person, really, and how they interact with what you think they would say in certain situations. So I definitely understand. Now, really quickly, I just want to say, we are so lucky to have you. The Tekken community is so lucky to have you, because I don't know any other voice actor who actually talks to the people who play their game. And we just have to appreciate you because you are a gem. You understand. You are great. You're amazing to have in this community. You're welcome. Because really
I love this community. You guys are incredible, and you guys embrace me like with so much joy. I don't have words to express myself to thank you all. It's incredible. It's incredible.
No problem, because I really genuinely, I don't know any other voice actor in the Tekken community who is on Twitter actually talking with people. Actually, I have a question. How does it feel to play Katarina? When you play yourself, do you look and you're just like, should I have said that way, in the middle of a combo or something?
At first, the first thing is I feel sorry for Katarina because I'm a bad player.
Oh, it's okay. Katarina is a good character anyway. It's like she's meant to help people who first start the game, but she's also very strong too. So,
Yeah.
yeah, like, do you ever criticize yourself when you look back at certain aspects when you voice people?
There are some things I would like to change about the lines, because when I did it, I was like starting to make video game characters, like and there were some things that I said in English. You guys probably don't get it because it's some things in Portuguese. It's like to say, let me think on something in English. What is up? Instead of saying what's up. Some stuff like this.
Yes.
Some contractions that I would like to change to make it more like she was in these days.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
more like in these days, because I was starting to learn it all, and I said it all so rightly, you know.
Yes.
And I would like to change it to let it like more flowing.
Yes, and you know, I honestly think that they should allow you to come back and voice the lines if you want to, because this character, I will say, like, this character, now the conception of this character, or perception I should say, a lot of people is very polarizing. Some people love the character, and you have some people who don't really like the character because of gameplay reasons. But I really feel like she is a fan favorite among a few people. Gerlanda, I know you've seen Gerlanda. He loves playing, yes, he loves playing
Yes.
Katarina. I love playing Katarina. Fergus loves playing Katarina. Shin loves playing Katarina, so you definitely have people who love the character. You should definitely come back. I hope they allow you to come back and voice more lines, and I hope the character comes back, so.
Me too. Also, because there's so much story we need to know.
Yes.
Because they were like, Luke, I'm your father, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah, because Gigas is her adoptive father, and we don't really know. He just was experimented on. There's so much story
Yes.
to elaborate on, that
And-
is left
and-
up.
I've been waiting since 2015 to know this story. But I really need to know this. Please. I really
Yeah,
need
me
to know
too.
that.
Everyone does,
What happened to my father?
Right. I just remember my first time playing that character. I remember I played, because my first Tekken is Tekken 7 that I played competitively. Like, I've played Tekken before, like Tekken Tag, obviously that's a classic, but I've never really, I remember just back in those days, I was just pressing buttons. But it wasn't until Tekken 7 that I actually was like, okay, I'll take this seriously. And I remember seeing the familiar faces, but each time I played a certain character, it's like it didn't feel right to me, It never felt right. And then I remember I just like, oh, who's Katarina? Oh, she looks nice. And then I heard the voice. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, And then I actually decided to play her. I was like, oh, and she kicks? Oh, this is gonna be fire, So I started playing her, and I played her, and I played her, and I played her. And it turns out I'm not the only one who likes her, but she's a great character. She needs to come back. I really do believe she would be back in Tekken 8.
I hope she does.
Yes. Me too.
And it's interesting because I'm trying to learn more about her. I made some friends that already played Tekken before, and they are helping me, like Season Fighter. He's really helping me a lot. He was just sending me some instructions and asking stuff to see if I'm really learning it. and it's so good to play with her, to hear what I said, but playing it, because I watched a lot of people, Spaghetti, Gerlanda, Shen. Oh my God, I watched Shen for like a year, and I was like, oh my God, I wanted to play this game. I wanted to learn her, and now I can really. I'm trying to learn her. It's not being so great, but
it's okay.
But
I'm
liking it.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm not so used to with the controller. I even started last Wednesday. I made something that is terrible, but I did it. I'm going to say, I'm trying to use the keyboard, and I did that.
Wait, what does that say? What does it say on the other side?
It's UBFD.
That's pretty cool
And the
though.
1, 2, 3, 4, I'm trying to, because I don't have, I'm not used to play with the controller. So I'm always like, to get a combo right, I need to look at it. And then I watch and I'm on the ground and oh my God, I missed it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying with the keyboard. It's nothing great, but I don't know. I'm going to try both of them.
Yeah, try whatever is comfortable with you. Also, you have an arc. If you ever are interested in getting an arcade stick works
Yes.
wonders. Yeah, those are some
Could
people
be
love those.
interesting. Here
Yeah,
in Brazil, it's too expensive. I tried to buy one, and when I saw the price, I was like, "Oh my God!"
yeah. No, they're pretty expensive
Not
here
being able
too.
to do that.
Yeah, trust me. I call this thing I do is called balling on a budget. So I like because I'm in school. So since I'm in school, I don't have money to just throw around. So I have to
Yes.
save. And when I saw an arcade stick, I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Yes,
I
yes.
asked for the price, and the company showed me a lot of skins and all, and I was like, "Okay, the price," and then they said me, "Okay, thank you so much for your patience."
Yes. Arcade sticks are good. They look great though. I have a friend who has like an arcade stick, and it looks amazing. I go to 404, which is um, an arcade down here in Atlanta, and Tekken House as well. And people have so many arcade sticks customized to their liking. I'm like, that looks so much fun. But
Yes.
I would just like maybe another time. Right now, I'm just sticking with the controller, and it's been doing me wonders. Um,
Yes.
just to recap everything, I love your character. You are an amazing person. I would say with Katarina, I've been dedicated to Katarina. Like you've seen those. I think it was last year. I was just nonstop in online tournaments, and I was posting, and I don't think you remember, but I was posting them back to back, my results and everything, until I think the culmination. I think the best thing I did with that character, for me personally, was in the September 2020 Tekken official online East online tournament. I made top 16 out of almost 200 people. And now for me, that's an accomplishment because I'm still relatively new to
Yes.
Tekken, and I did it with my favorite character. So I was always amazing. I feel like your character, if you feel this weak or whatever, it actually, you just have to stick with them, because some people think Katarina is low tier, or some people think she's annoying or whatever, but play whoever you want to play. I don't care. I would love to see Gigas winning a TWT. That would be amazing. Do you understand how
Yeah.
much work that would be? Probably, but just the dedication. So that's all I really have to say. I think people here, if you like this, you should follow Thais on her what's your Twitch again? Say your Twitch for us.
Is that Duraes? I don't know how to say it. It's
Yes.
Thaduraes.
I'll link it in the comments below and everything, or in the description. Make sure you follow her. Make sure you follow.
Thank you.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Gerlanda. Shout out to Fergus. I'll shameless plug here. Shout out to me because I'll put in my
Yes.
name here too. Thank you. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. Thank you,
Thank
because I
you.
know we were trying to get this together because I came to you, I think about 2 months ago about this, and we finally got it together. So just thank you. This is my first interview. You were so amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yes, you're a great
much.
friend. So thank you for tuning in. If you like this, please like and subscribe. Make sure you follow her, follow Thais, and follow me. Legend of Des. See you later.